All right, this week we have some very special guests. We've got James Taylor and David Kaye, the voices of Ratchet and Clank, respectively. And we got Brandon filling in for Ricky this week because you actually have a lot of experience with the whole Ratchet and Clank franchise.
Yeah, I was just a huge fan as a kid growing up. It was my favorite game franchise. And then I worked at the company that made Ratchet and Clank for 4.5 years, Insomniac, so.
Follow your dreams.
Yeah, there you go.
That's it.
So you guys have been doing these voices for, what is it, like?
14 years?
14 years.
14 years.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. And of course, you got the new Ratchet and Clank movie coming out soon.
And then the game just came out, what, 2 days ago?
2 days ago, yeah.
The game based on the movie, based on the game.
Perfect. So the new game it's like a sort of reboot, right? It's starting from the beginning, and it's the same story as the movie.
Yeah, I think
it's the same story as a movie, but it's not necessarily an exact retelling of the original.
Right, because the movie is kind of retelling of the original game, and then the game essentially retells the movie, but adds some flair in there, as you know a game usually does.
So as you can tell, I don't know a whole lot about this franchise. I did see the movie last night though, and it was a really good like primer into the world of Ratchet and Clank. It's basically it's sci-fi. You've got what sort of animal is Ratchet again? He's
Ratchet is a Lombax, and there is only one. There can be only one.
Basically a fox with 2 legs and a gun.
Yeah.
And then ears, the pointy ears.
Before Rocket Raccoon came in, you know, guns blazing, there was Ratchet.
Right, he's the OG.
Yeah.
And
that's right.
And Clank is his sort of emotional counterpart, the logical and helpful
I was supposed to be evil to begin with.
Yeah.
And then I came out okay.
Yeah.
He has a little bit of a heart. He's a robot, but there's a little heart beating. A little heart beating in there.
That's right.
I forget which game, but there is an evil version of Clank.
Yes, yeah. I remember that game, and I used to love.
Was that the third one?
Yeah, was it Kronk?
Up Your Arsenal?
Kronk.
Kronk?
Going Commando?
Yeah. Oh, I think that was Going Commando.
Yeah.
I like the one with where I get to
Secret Agent Clank.
The giant one?
Yeah, Secret Agent Clank.
Secret Agent Clank.
Smash things.
You know the bad guy in that? He was bad. He was very, I will get you, Agent Clank. That was me.
That was
that was me. Yes, it was Ratchet. He wanted to get Clank.
Oh, that's a real big twist in the universe.
People didn't know that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, in addition to these characters, you guys do a lot of voices.
We've done all right. Yeah.
Do you ever just forget what your normal voice sounds like?
Yeah, I don't think is this my?
It's kind of there.
When I'm asked to do if I'm in a cartoon, I know there's a couple of Avengers Assemble right now, and done a bunch of characters on that show. Whenever the director says, for this one, just use your normal voice, and I sort of stop and. Like this one, I kind of get I'm stumped.
Yeah.
You want to do something? I want to be doing something kind of goofy,
right?
But she wants me just to be me.
And that's been the weirdest thing with Ratchet is that he is my regular voice, which is really rare. Most of my career has been other things. You know, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You know, the Clone Wars. So there's Master Obi-Wan Kenobi or Fred Flintstone. Yabba dabba doo.
It's like he's chewing on his shoulder, man.
Yeah. It's like Paul Giamatti, right?
That's
Or Johnny Test, who's 11 years old and kind of fun and cool. Let's see, Yondu from Guardians of the Galaxy, or Cosmo, the Russian telepathic cosmonaut dog. Yes, it's many voices. Yes,
it's I mean, there's got to be huge gaps in time between some of these roles, and do you fall back into it super easily, or does it take some reacquainting?
I do. Yeah, I find it.
It kind of comes back, and if there's ever a problem, there's always somebody who has recorded a ref.
Yeah. They go, and that's kind of the joke with Ratchet and Clank. They go, James, do you want a reference? I'm like,
not really.
I don't need it. It's okay. But yeah, but for you,
if my head's not doing this, that was the thing when the first few sessions, Morgan Gerhardt was the engineer when Technicolor was around,
right?
And if I was in and I was tired, I come in and start doing this sort of thing, and he says, not quite there. Your head's not moving. I go, oh yes, right, of course. and literally, I've had to see a chiropractor more often than not because after those sessions, after 14 years of games, your head's doing this.
Yeah,
and
physical exertion. Yeah.
So, I don't do that. I'm glad
I know.
Yeah.
See.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good lead into our first fan submitted question. We got a bunch of them.
Cool.
Reddit user like Chaos. Probably.
Isn't that always fun? This is
this looks like a random string of letters.
Now, this is how voiceover works. You get the script the second you walk in, and you never know what it is. And if it's a name like that, you just got to fake it, make it up.
Yeah, and then it's canon.
Yeah.
So that person asks, is there a difference about voicing regular human versus anthropomorphic characters like Ratchet and Clank?
No. I mean, we talked about this. You can kind of, when you're doing a voice, you can kind of hide behind a little bit of it and take yourself out of the equation. Right. But again, when you're doing a normal person just speaking, you're yourself, and you're just vulnerable, and you're just being open.
Yeah, so it's kind of weird for me with Ratchet. It's different than my regular voice work because it's my regular voice. I don't know where to hide those little tricks. You know, Obi-Wan might have a, you know, Anakin, he's got all these different emotions and he goes in different places. But Ratchet, how would Ratchet do it? I don't know. It's how I would do it. Oh gosh, how would I do it? I don't want to show you that. Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
So it's an existential crisis when you play Ratchet. Okay.
But it's good.
Well, here's another one from a guy named Steve-O the Pedo.
Oh, Steve-O the Pedo.
Oh, man. He wants to know, what was it like to find out you would be voicing these iconic characters in a game again and on the big screen? And what was the gap this time between the last time you had done it?
And what was it? Wasn't that long, was it?
2013 was the last Ratchet game.
Okay.
Yeah, so it wasn't
like we do them every year or so. There's something.
Yeah.
I mean, Ratchet and Clank have had cameos in other games. Because I think I've done 17 games as Ratchet.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Wow. There's not that many Ratchet and Clank games.
Did you think it would have gone on this long originally?
Yes, I did. In the beginning, I remember saying, you know, this would go for centuries. No. You know, I mean, it was...
No, you just kind of get something and you think, oh, this is going to be fun. And then you think, well, we're moving on after
14 years later.
14 years later, yeah. And then the Transformers franchise, I just got back from Louisville. And 20 years I've been involved with the Transformers franchise.
Yeah. Which voice are you on there?
There's a bunch of
several.
them.
Okay.
Judd Nelson and I were inducted into the Hall of Fame. This is the only time you'll hear my name with the name Steven Spielberg, because this is it. This is my 15 minutes.
On, no.
Steven Spielberg and me are in the Transformers Hall of Fame.
Oh.
So that's blows me away.
That's why. Well, congratulations.
Thanks. Well, 20 years ago, it started with this. Anthony Hopkins, Sean Connery, and a lizard, which I come out with the Megatron voice.
Oh, right.
Excellent. Beast Wars, yes. Commander Retro, a pleasant surprise. Transform, or whatever they did.
And then that 20 years later, you're looking back and holy crap. And there's different characters in that I've done. Optimus Prime and Transformers animated.
Yeah, yeah.
So a lot of robots.
There's a lot of robots. My point was a
robots.
ton of robots.
Interesting.
Jarvis and Avengers Assemble.
Right.
So I'm AI.
Yeah, what is it about
artificial
you?
intelligence?
Yeah,
yes.
I'm not really intelligent.
fact,
I'm artificially intelligent,
he's actually
which is
a robot.
perfect for me.
Have you ever been approached by like a GPS company to just like record?
No, I do my own GPS, and then turn here, and I just no.
Clank should be a voice on a GPS.
Oh,
It should be very
soothing.
an option. There should be an option that you can put in the different cartoon voices or
And
whatever.
then the
you want
Ratchet
to.
voice would be like, I don't know, just turn wherever. Is this good, I guess?
And I can
We'll
come in and
find
say,
it.
Ratchet, that's not how you behave.
That's right. I think it'd be awesome.
That'd be really helpful turn-by-turn directions, having two voices argue with each other about what you should do.
yeah.
Real safe.
Now, you weren't Ratchet in the first game, right?
I wasn't.
So is this like reconfirming to you that
Yeah.
now you are
It's
technically
pretty
in the
cool.
first Ratchet game?
And Mikey Kelly, was the voice of Ratchet in the very first game. Mikey Kelly, hey, yeah, it's Mikey Kelly. He's a good friend,
Mikey.
and I love Mikey. We were in the Ninja Turtles movie together, and he was Michelangelo, I was Leonardo, and so I love harassing him about it. He's not as fond of me harassing him about it. Yeah, we've done 17 games, Mikey. But it's nice to go back and redo it now and go, okay, so now I've been in all of the games.
Right. This whole arc is there.
So here's a good question, because the animation, it's like a pretty small club. There's a great documentary about this called "I Know This Voice" or "I Know That Voice."
Yeah.
And you guys are both in it. Yep.
Yeah.
And so a lot of people ask this about that industry because it's so small. Big Shot Eagle says, "How did you guys start your careers in voice acting? What advice would you give to someone who's interested in becoming a voice actor?"
I actually told a white lie.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. To start, because I was at the time living in Vancouver, and I was doing radio.
Right.
So where backgrounds are from, and I started doing characters on the morning zoo, and that was a big deal.
Yep.
And I become friends with an agent in town, who's with a modeling agency, and then they had a commercial agent. And the modeling part was like, I think if you had one eye in your head, you could, hey, you should send us your money, and we go put pictures.
A lot of money in
Oh my God!
Cyclopses.
Yeah. But Ross taught the commercial. Ross Rose taught the commercial part, and I was learning lines. And he said, "You should do an agent. Do it. You should do this for a living." And he sent me an audition 6 weeks later for G.I. Joe for the different parts, and I read for General Hawk, and that was we got cast, and because he said, "You can do voices, right?" I go, "Yeah, I can do voices." So I was really thrown in.
Wow.
And to this situation where you're in behind the glass and there's people in there.
Yeah.
And I read for Cobra Commander, and that was dear Chris Latta, you know, the like great Chris Latta was cast in that. And I somehow got cast as General Hawk, you know, like, quick, follow me toward the danger. Yo, Joe. And then that was it. And I thought, how can I quit everything else and do this forever? So that's how it
Mine was different. When I was 4 years old, I knew I wanted to do this. I saw, you know, cartoons, Mel Blanc, Don Messick, Dawes Butler, Paul Frees, those guys. I'm like, I want to do this. And so I have literally since then mapped out my course. And I started in radio as well. We both started, I started as a stand-up at 16 and then radio at 17, and pursued it. And so what I used to do is I had a home studio always because of radio work. And I voiced thousands of bits for radio companies, syndicator. I was at Premier Radio Networks. So I would do stuff for Howard Stern. I was like the voice of God on the Howard Stern Show. And see, I have to do this one. And then a bunch of other, Mark and Brian and other places I do stuff for them, Rick Dees. And I would know I wanted to get into voiceovers, so I would say to my friends that had needed their voiceover demos, I'll do your demo for free, but in turn, give my tape to the agents and pitch me. And eventually one of those agents actually listened to the tape and went, hey, and called me up, and the rest is history, as they say. Yes.
So be a self-starter and improvise and say yes to things.
And if you go David's route, lie.
Or straight up lie.
Or just tell a fib.
But it's not about just doing voice. I think a lot of people think that voiceover is about, oh, how many voices can you do? And we're both very blessed to be able to do this and have a wide range of voices. There's tons of voice actors that make their living with one voice or two voices or a couple of sounds.
H. John Benjamin is literally just H. John Benjamin.
Just one sound,
but it's a great voice.
Yeah, so there you go. If you have something unique, go with it. Learn how to cold read. So that means just pick up anything and just be able to read it, make it sound like it's naturally coming out of you, because that's what most of our 99% of our work is cold reading. You get the script right then. Clone Wars, I always say, you know, because it was so top secret, we'd walk in and we got the scripts as we walked into the booth.
Wow.
And that's it. So
there are a lot of emotional moments in that show that hit really well.
Yeah.
So
yeah, you have to. We were supposed to work on that together. I know. The day I was there, the only time I was cast in the show, I had a 2-story arc. It was like, hey, I'm going to be working with James Arnold Taylor, and you're off in Florida doing
I was hosting
Wars
Star Wars weekends. Yeah, I've hosted Star Wars weekends and Star Wars Celebration, and so that was a really
great
fun.
Room.
Yeah, it's great. We did it all live together.
Corey Burton was
Corey Burton. Nika Futterman was on the show as Ventress. You got Matt Lanter as Anakin. Ashley Eckstein.
Does D. Bradley Baker in that?
D. Bradley Baker was every voice of the clone. Every clone.
That's right. He was
and all the creatures.
And Greg Berger was in the day I was in there.
Have you guys had D ever in here?
No.
Oh boy.
You got to get D. Bradley Baker in here.
No.
Talk about an amazing voice actor. He can do any sound, any noise. Literally, crickets in the room, creatures. Pretty much every video game now that you see where there's a creature, it's D. I mean, he can just, with like a cup and his nose, he can like.
He stole the movie. Who's that voice?
I know that voice. Yeah, he's got a great moment in I Know That Voice, where he takes a jar and he gets on the mic and he creates this.
Okay, yeah, I remember that.
That's D. Yeah, he's great.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Hope you guys are enjoying the podcast that Elliot and Brandon did, but look, I sort of appeared on it now because we're doing some mid-roll reads.
This guy.
Yeah.
So this episode is brought to you by Loot Crate.
Yeah.
As you, I'm sure, are aware, Loot Crate is a monthly box. It gets sent to you with a bunch of epic geek and gamer items and pop culture gear. For less than $20 a month, you get 4 to 8 items that include licensed gear, stuff you can wear, stuff we can collect, unique one-of-a-kind items and more, and you won't find them anywhere else.
Lots of pins. Everyone's loving the pins these days. Get your pin. So make sure to head to lootcrate.com/ETC and enter code ETC to save $3 on any new subscription. Loot Crate is more than just a subscription service, guys. It's an entire community of fans. They share their experience. They interact with each other. You need a friend? Get a Loot Crate. It's like a friend delivers you some toys every month. You don't have any friends? This guy's your friend. Anyways, they guarantee $40 or more in value in every crate. Sometimes it's a lot more. They give you some cool shit.
Some of my most prized possessions appeared to me in a Loot Crate. Every month there's a different theme, and all the items are curated around that theme. Previous ones have included items from franchises like Star Wars, Marvel, The Walking Dead, The Legend of Zelda, and everything else you like. Spring is springing.
Yeah.
So grab a map, your bag of holding, and some friends. April's theme is Quest.
Yeah, something that Elliot is apparently not aware of in any way.
Yeah.
RPGs?
Yeah, we're forming a party to explore everywhere from far-off kingdoms to worlds hidden within worlds with exclusive items from Labyrinth,
Ah, Labyrinth item would be cool. Yeah.
Harry Potter,
Yeah.
History Channel's Vikings, and Uncharted 4.
Yeah, there you go.
Ooh.
So that's cool.
That's a quest.
Yeah, remember, you only have until the 19th at 9 p.m. Pacific to subscribe and receive that month's crate, and then when the cutoff happens, that's it. Too bad. So go to lootcrate.com/ETC, enter code ETC to save $3 on your new subscription today.
Not tomorrow, today.
Do it now.
Now back to the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
So here's a good question. Stu Macca says, what's it like to listen to your own voices in the video games and movies that you do work on? Does it ever sound strange to you in any way? And I want to add to this, do you ever forget that you did certain things when you hear it?
Yeah, I've had that happen.
Certain
before.
shows, yeah.
Certain shows
Way
where you're
back,
watching
you
it and you
forgot.
hear it and you go, oh, is it? Oh, yeah.
Oh, I was a construction worker.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I hear my walla a lot. Whoa! It always sounds like Michael J. Fox having a bad day or something.
This is me doing Walla. I pretend I do Walla.
Oh, you don't do
So I
it?
have to say,
You say
no, I
that.
do. Sometimes I do. When there's lots of people.
There's so many people. So the walla is that background noise.
Peas and carrots.
right.
Peas and carrots,
Yeah.
walla, 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 walla. And so every episode you have to kind of do that whenever, especially like Avengers and stuff. Those ones, there's always
There's always screaming and
mass
yelling,
hysteria going on. And yeah, they want you to scream and yell.
But you never read. There's lines in there that says like Walla. It says eat Walla. Which do you mean? It's like, oh, wait.
Yeah.
Well, one of the members of the cast of Beast Wars one day decided to continue on. Go,
That's right. I'm coming after you. Eat Walla.
and of course everyone stopped, and everyone couldn't stop laughing for about an hour.
That's a good insult.
Eat Walla.
Yeah.
It's like the Kevin Sorbo Hercules. Have you seen it where he they misprinted the script so it said disappointed
Yeah.
in the dialogue field, so he just shouts disappointed.
That's right.
That's awesome.
So here's another good one. Fernquist says, how do you guys get into character before recording lines? I know you said in a lot of cases you show up and that's what it is.
That's pretty much it. It's not like the on-camera world where, you get all these months to prepare and, rehearse the script and know what you're doing. We just have to go in. You have to have no inhibitions as a voice actor and just go in and not worry about how you
Never
look or
ever
how you
grow
sound.
up.
And
Ever.
So if
throw it
that's
out
the
there.
case, like how does casting work? Like do they just kind of choose you because they know you can get the job done and
we
you have a certain
audition all the
range?
time.
Yeah.
You just audition constantly.
That also is part of it, though. The relationships,
Mm-hmm.
I think, they get comfortable with you. So they
Yeah.
know
Right.
that if they throw you in the studio with other people, it's a comfortable situation. You know
Yeah.
people. And then they know if there's another voice that comes up and you need to be able to handle that, they're going to go, oh, yeah, he can handle that one as well. They need to know you can
Yeah.
do that with everyone. So there's
can have a range,
familiarity.
Right, like
helps.
you were Nathan Hale as well for Insomniac.
Oh, right, yes, yeah.
So that's another case of, and I know Insomniac, like working on the writing side, like they always want to pull from their backlog just because they know that they're great. And I was insanely impressed when I was writing the night before, like changing lines the night before, and then
Yeah.
coming in, and it's like, oh my God, like something you think is so terrible that you've written, all of a sudden sounds magical when it's coming out of
that's
y'all's voices.
Cool. That's cool.
That's always amazing.
Thank God.
Yeah.
You fooled them.
I did.
Yeah.
That's another thing we always say together is that we're so fortunate. Rob Paulson says all the time is to go in and be able to do this and get paid for it is mind-blowing to me.
Rob
So,
Paulson, of course, for people that don't know, is Animaniacs, Pinky and the Brain. He's Pinky. He's all these amazing characters and just a legend.
Yeah, we
in
keep
the
thinking we're
world,
gonna
of
wake
course.
up one day. They're gonna find out. They're gonna
Yeah.
find out.
Yeah.
that I'm something I'm not.
This is all I can do, man. This is it. I hope they don't do that.
Here's another question, and you kind of covered this with the Eat Walla, but AWPASD, another just random string of letters, says, do you have any particularly interesting stories from recording sessions?
Well,
That we can speak of?
Yeah,
Yeah, well-
there's a lot we can't.
Tom Kenny had like the same sort of response. He's like, well,
Yeah.
There's a few.
But the one with the Ratchet and Clank, because I guess it's familiarity.
Yeah.
We're talking about. So we always used to say, well, how would Clank sound like doing these lines? And we'd throw something at me every day. And one was the Liam Neeson line about, I
But
don't know
you
who
do,
you are.
yeah.
I don't know what you want, but I will find it out. A particular set of skills. And I've voice matched him in some trailers, like James does as well, for other voices. And so he said, "Can you do the Clank doing that?" And I said,
I have a particular set of skills. I don't know who you are or what you want, but I will find you and I will kill you.
It's a laugh.
You know,
yeah.
I mean, we goof around like that.
Yeah. If you know, I mean, a room full of voice actors, all you have to do is go, "It's crazy," and then
Everyone does their
starts doing the walking.
Woodman.
You know, yeah,
It's
Woodman. I was driving
Avenue.
down the
You know,
street.
everyone does their.
There was a Woodman Avenue. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. So you know. or
Are there
Johnny
any
Carson.
particular like real people like Christopher Walken that are just super fun to voice act as or impersonate?
Yeah, well, Walken, I did his voice in a game, in a James Bond game, and then a review came out and said that Christopher Walken was great in this game. Yeah, he's fun to do because he is. I'll just be driving alone sometimes, and I'll go, "It's a Ford Festiva." Wow, Camry. It's just fun to say things like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's and Michael J. Fox. I do a lot of his doubling and stuff.
I could hear that.
Christopher Lloyd in the Back to the Future game. I did.
Oh, can I hear your Christopher Lloyd?
Well, great Scott! So you have to be able to do Christopher Lloyd's voice, but I had to do him as a 17-year-old. So I took a little of Michael J. Fox and I took Christopher Lloyd and I made him more like this great Scott Marty. So it was a young Christopher Lloyd. And yeah. So you have to be able to do that. Yeah, I got to be able to kind of hear them. Like Johnny Depp stuff, I do his doubling. And so a lot of actors, when they're not available, they bring us in. Like you know, David said he did Liam Neeson stuff. So if they're not available for something, for a trailer or for a line that got dropped out, we come in and fill in, and hopefully nobody notices.
And is this stuff that like they make sure that you don't go around like telling people what?
Yeah, I mean, it would be really bad if we were on a huge, you know, website thing and talking about, you know, in a video cast. That would be bad if we. Oh.
Yeah. Oops.
Uh-oh.
Never mind.
Uh-oh.
No, yeah, I mean, for the most part, I think they like to kind of keep it quiet, but you know.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that I mean, everyone kind of knows. You know, yeah,
Or
body
the-
doubles, voice doubles, all this
the
kind of
video
thing.
game version. So, like, if you How to Train Your Dragon and Jay Baruchel isn't available, they get me in. So, you know, it's or David Spade, and you are bye. Okay, so yeah, it's fun.
You do. I saw on your big. You both have giant lists of credits that I have
Thank
in
you.
a stack of
Giant
papers right
list of
here.
credits.
But you do the announcer voice on Last Week Tonight.
Yeah, it was. I was hired to do the promos to begin with, and then I heard the promos on the air and went, "Hey, that's not me." Ah, well. You know, so I texted my agent, "So I guess that's not happening." And they said, "No, they want to know if you want to be like involved with the show. Can you work weekends?" And I'm like, "Weekends? I don't know. That's Saturday, right? And Sunday." And then I did the first session, and I couldn't stop laughing at the writing. I mean, I had to stop down a bunch of times. You know, how is this still a thing? You know that.
Yeah, and now this.
And now, two newscasters staring blankly into space. And it's become this sort of weekly thing. They'll dial me up on a Friday or a Saturday, and we'll record whatever the writers have written. And it's just been the show has just blown up. And it's so clever and so much fun. It's been a ton of fun. You never know where things lead. You just have no idea. You do one little thing and you think, and it turns into this big, long, wonderful thing. So,
Like Ratchet.
Yeah.
Yes.
yeah.
You've both done Mysterio. I thought that was
Oh, yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, we
yeah, we
both have played
have.
Mysterio.
Yeah.
What was your Mysterio? I don't know.
It was something. Spider-Man, something like that. I
very
can't
different.
remember.
Yeah, mine was.
Jamie Thomason directed it.
Okay.
When I was in,
Mine was based off of the Spider-Man 2 when the movie
Right,
came out.
yeah.
And so it was Mysterio. So he was very kind of theatrical. And Spider Fool, I will get you, you know. And it's kind of the same voice I used for the leader on Hulk and the Agents of Smash.
Okay.
He's a little different. Oh, I will get you, Hulk and the Agents of Smash. And Mysterio is, I will get you. So he's a little higher up, but it's
Right.
pretty
it
much
was
the
always
same.
it was theatrical, but I can't remember. How long ago was that? Ultimate Spider-Man?
Yeah, it was a while ago.
I
yeah.
could probably find it in this.
How does that feel, knowing that like a couple people are doing the same character? And,
Happens all the time
right.
in voiceover. I mean, there's.
Oh gosh, yeah.
I've been Spider-Man in so many games, yet how many other people, Drake Bell Spider-Man, you know, are. I mean, we all.
in Ben 10, there's
10,
like
yeah.
you're doing 18 characters all the time, and so and Steve Bloom would come in, and he played a character that I played now before, and it all crosses
Josh
over.
Keaton played Spider-Man in one. Or he played Harry Osborn in one game, and I played Spider-Man. And then we did the TV show, and I played Harry Osborn, and he played Spider-Man.
Perfect.
So yeah, it's
full circle.
Weird.
Yeah, you never sort of you just show up and do your thing and put your spin on it and moving on. Yeah.
That's great.
So I mean, we've covered you guys have done so much stuff, but Hugh Janis wants to know: is there a specific intellectual property that you would like to work on in the future that you maybe haven't done yet?
Star Wars.
Been there, done that.
Do you know anyone?
Can you do a Vader voice?
I can't remember.
You could. No,
who was the guy I did in that Red Herring episode? I did a good job of him.
Yeah, you were in Clone Wars.
Commander something or other. Yeah.
Yeah, Star Wars is one of those.
I'm Commander something or other.
Yeah, he's good. He's got his own action figure though, so that's where you're set, man. You could go to conventions the rest of your life. Yeah, I would love to be Bugs Bunny one day, but Billy West is one of my just biggest heroes and a dear friend, so I would never want to.
He's got a lot of stuff locked down.
Yeah.
You don't want to steal from Billy West.
No, you don't want to.
But
steal
I would love
from
the
Billy
opportunity
West.
to do Bugs sometime. I love him. Yeah, he's a great character.
I can hear that for sure. Yeah.
Well, I think we got to wrap it up now. But guys, thanks so much. Ratchet and Clank, the newest game, already out, and the movie comes out when?
April 29th.
April 29th. Thank you. Someone knows.
It's coming out.
Yes, go see it. Come on, especially the first week. Go see it the first week so we get some nice numbers.
Yeah, it'd be fun.
That would be good.
All right, thanks, guys. See you next week.